Okay, let's play a little game. A FIFA computer picked two teams to play a match in Seattle, the same Seattle that throws a giant pride parade every single year. The match on Pride weekend. The teams, Egypt and Iran. Yeah, that happened. And here's the thing. This one game has a banned official, a team training in Mexico, a threatened walkout, a diplomatic meltdown, and a plan to flood the stadium with rainbow flags, all before a single ball is kicked. How? So, FIFA does their big shiny World Cup draw on December 5th, 2025. Kennedy Center, Washington, D.C. Very fancy, very official. They pull balls out of the machine and Group G is set. Belgium, Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand. Meanwhile, Seattle's local organizing committee, totally separate from FIFA, had already promised the city they'd turn one World Cup match into a pride celebration. They just didn't know which teams would be playing yet. Then the scheduling matrix runs. Computers do their thing, and June 26th, the Friday of Seattle Pride weekend, gets assigned to Egypt versus Iran, not Belgium, not New Zealand. Two countries where Pride Month is not exactly on the calendar. In Iran, same-sex relationships can be punishable by death. And people on Reddit called this the greatest troll by an algorithm in human history. Hard to argue. One day after the draw, Egypt's Football Association grabbed a pen. They wrote a formal letter to FIFA's Secretary General, Matthias Grafström, and did not mince words. They categorically reject any activities promoting LGBTQ during the match. They called it a direct conflict with, quoting, the cultural, religious, and social values of the region, particularly in Arab and Islamic societies. Very official, very serious letter. Iran went further. The head of Iran's football federation, Mehdi Taj, walked into a FIFA council meeting and called the Pride Match label, and I love this phrase, an irrational move that supports a certain group. Iranian state television said they'd be appealing to FIFA. Seattle's organizing committee read all of this and said, cool, the match is still on. See you June 26th. You're probably thinking, this is easy to fix. Just swap the game. And you're right. On that same day, June 26th, Belgium and New Zealand were scheduled to play in Vancouver. Belgium, gay marriage legal since 2003. New Zealand, gay marriage legal since 2013. Perfect swap, problem solved. Everyone goes home happy. FIFA said no. Their reasons? TV broadcast rights already sold. Flights booked, security logistics set, tickets printed, hotel blocks reserved. Somewhere in there was probably also, this would cost tens of millions of dollars. So instead of a simple swap, we got everything else that's about to happen in this video. Great call, FIFA. Really nailed that one. Remember Mehdi Taj, the guy who complained to FIFA? He's Iran's Football Federation chairman. He was supposed to be in Seattle managing everything. The US State Department looked at his file and said, you're not coming in. Why? Because Mehdi Taj is a former commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, which the United States has officially designated a terrorist organization. Visa denied, along with 13 other Federation staff, Executive Director, Secretary General, Media Director. Secretary of State Marco Rubio made it clear, we're not letting IRGC-affiliated people walk in under the cover of a soccer tournament. It gets worse. Some Iranian players themselves had served in Iranian military units with IRGC ties. Their passports were a problem. Iran's federation had to start planning replacement options for players who might not be allowed entry at all. Their chairman can't come. Some players maybe can't come. The team still has to play. Fun! So, federation chairman is banned, 13 staff can't enter, some players might not make it, and there's a full travel ban on Iranian citizens. What do? You move your entire base camp to Tijuana, Mexico. Not Arizona, not California, Tijuana, right across the border from San Diego. Original plan was Tucson, Arizona. Canceled. So the national football team of the Islamic Republic of Iran is training in Mexico, waiting for one specific day, June 26th, because Iran's players were issued a single-day entry visa to the United States. They can enter on match day. They play. They leave that same night. They can't even do the mandatory pre-match press conference at the stadium. FIFA requires it the day before because they literally cannot enter the country yet. And FIFA says everything is fine. Okay, now we get to the fans. On Reddit, specifically the Seattle subreddit, a thread appeared with a plan. Buy thousands of rainbow pride flags. Hand them out free to every single person entering Lumen Field. The goal? Make it impossible for Iranian and Egyptian state TV to broadcast the match without showing a stadium full of rainbow flags. Both countries control their own state media. They can cut away from crowd shots, they can blur things out, but if all 72,000 seats are waving rainbow flags, you can't hide that. Separately, Seattle's organizing committee had their own official plans. Free watch parties at Westlake Park, limited edition Pride Match Day clothing by local artists, and a walking route through Capitol Hill called the Unity Loop. So, outside the stadium, celebration. Inside, 72,000 potential rainbow flags. And Iran's Minister of Sport had already publicly instructed the team to walk off the pitch if they saw unauthorized flags or political slogans, which means a walkout at an actual World Cup match is genuinely on the table. This is the one that makes everyone uncomfortable. So let's do it. Qatar 2022. FIFA threatened yellow cards to European team captains if they wore the One Love rainbow armband. The message? Respect the host country's culture and laws. And most teams back down. Fast forward to 2026. Seattle designates a match as a pride celebration over the official objections of two nations whose laws and cultures directly conflict with that. FIFA's response? Not our program. Talk to the local committee. So in Qatar, FIFA enforced the host's cultural preferences on visiting teams. In Seattle, FIFA does nothing. Lets the host's cultural agenda play out anyway. The question isn't whether pride celebrations are good or bad. The question is, why does FIFA apply one rule one way and a completely different rule the other way? Analysts called it Western cultural arrogance. LGBTQ plus activists called FIFA's Qatar behavior cowardly capitulation. Everyone has a point. Nobody agrees. And FIFA, as always, is cashing the checks. A banned official, a team training in Tijuana, a potential walkout, thousands of rainbow flags, and a FIFA that somehow made everyone angry at the same time. June 26th, 2026, Seattle, 8 p.m. local time. Whatever happens, it will not be just a football match. Now I want to know what you think. Was Seattle right to keep the Pride match? Should FIFA have swapped the schedule? Drop your take in the comments. I'm reading every single one. If you found this interesting, hit subscribe. There's a lot more World Cup 2026 chaos coming. See you in the next one.